This is MIA2K Podcast, and we are your ticket from Miami to Seoul. We are your pilots, Kathy and Laura, two fun-seeking girls with obsessive fandom tendencies, taking you on a ride through the Hallyu wave from our perspective as opinionated, grown Latina fans from Miami.
Before we close the cabin doors, make sure you're following us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you like to watch, our in-flight podcast video is available on YouTube and Spotify.
Once we reach our cruising altitude, we'll be serving one thing and one thing only, piping hot tea. We're ready to fly into today's topic with our hot and sunny takes.
So fasten your seatbelts, sit back, relax, and prepare for takeoff.
Hi guys! Welcome to season 4 of the MIA2K podcast. If you're new here, welcome to the fun chaos. We hope you enjoy it. If you are a returning listener, though, you are unhinged for coming back. But just kidding. We love you for it.
To start our season off strong, today we're going to be talking about K-pop aces, or idols who can do it all and who do it well.
Yes, ma'am. We'll disclaim, starting off, that we're only focusing on a few of those aces today. So we might not be including someone you consider an ace. And if so, we invite you to share your thoughts politely in the polls or the comments and let us know who are your personal aces.
And because we do have big multi-stan hearts and often have trouble choosing, there's a section of honorable mentions at the end, so stick around for that. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So we need to start by first asking ourselves and defining what is an ace. So for us here at MIA2K, an ace is an idol who can do all of the 5 following things: sing, dance, rap, produce music, and write songs.
Period. So with that rubric in mind, we consider the following idols to be K-pop aces, and they will be the main focus of our episode today. Number 1, Joohoney from Monsta X. Number 2, Soyeon from G-Idol or Idol. Number 3, Han from Stray Kids. And number 4, Moonbyul from Mamamoo. And that's that. I can hear period. I can hear the screams already for everyone else that is not included in this list. But we will give you our reasoning as we go through each of them. And if you really don't agree by the end of this episode, you can burn us at the stake at the end. It's fine. We'll live.
Politely.
Or not. Politely, yes.
We're also mainly focusing on idols that are still really active right now and who have consistent comebacks. So towards the middle of the episode, we'll have a little bit of a section on aces of Yesteryear.
Yeah.
Where we give them their flowers. So don't worry, we will talk about some earlier gens.
Yeah.
So let's start with our first ace of the list and why we think he's an ace. Here's Joohoney of Monsta X. We love him. Let's start with that.
Love. Actually, wait, I just thought of something, and I wanted to say this now that before we start talking about everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that we're being so objective because none of the people on this list are biases.
That's true.
And that's how you know that we're being objective girlies and data focused and all the things. And so you can't come for us because we're not being biased, okay? Period.
But also it's our opinion. So.
Also that. There's also that. But anyway, yes, we do love these people because they're very talented. So at the end of the day, we
love talent.
Exactly.
So Joohoney from Monsta X. He was born in 1994. He's been active since 2015. He's a part of Monsta X, we just said it, with Starship Entertainment. He made his solo debut earlier this year in 2023. He is, unfortunately for everyone, currently enlisted.
Well, for everyone except the military.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's baby girlified. His comrades, his people.
Is attacking the border with his aegyo, and oh my God, I'm living for it.
Same. And he currently has, as of September 2023, which is when we're recording this, He has 180 songs registered on Komka. That's a lot.
Like
That's a lot. So I'm going to do a little bit of math. So from 2023 to 2015 is what?
8 years.
Thank you. So that means that in his 8 years, he averaged about 22 songs a year, which is like a lot.
That's like two a month almost. And yeah. And also for everyone listening that doesn't know what the KOMCA is, KOMCA stands for Korean Music Copyright Association. So anytime an idol or a musician in Korea, an artist is credited for a song, like it's officially like said that they were participated either in writing the lyrics or composing the music of the song, the person gets the credit through the Korea Music Copyright Association. So you'll be hearing us the entire episode refer to them as the KOMKA. Yeah, that's crazy.
Notably,
That's
isn't
wild.
it? Right? Notably for us, in within these 180 songs, he is credited with Who Do You Love for writing the lyrics and music. And if you haven't listened to the song, it's a bop and all
Hmm.
in English, just saying. There's also Gambler, and he's credited for the lyrics, music, and arrangement.
King.
And right, and Rush Hour, also for the lyrics, music, and arrangement. And these two last two songs were part of their more recent comebacks, and they were hits. So
Absolute hits.
he's
Yeah,
talented.
he really is. He is so versatile. And I think he would have even more songs if Starship had a recording studio in the building.
That's You're
Like
100% right.
legit, this man would have literally 500 credits to his name had he had like an accessible studio to work in at all times.
And mind you, that's 180 songs, right? He's an idol, which means he has never ending comeback, especially Monsta X.
Hmm.
He has, aside from like comebacks, variety shows that he does, like he's booked and busy all the time.
Hmm.
So the fact that he had time to do all of this, come on,
Facts.
guys, like
Facts.
ace material. But just to make sure if Joohoney fits the K-pop ace bill, let's go category by category, right?
Right.
So can he sing like an angel?
Yes. Like, is water wet? I mean, his voice is so beautiful. It's literal actual honey.
It is. He actually first started as a singer and then developed into rapping, but he wanted to be a singer when he was younger. He mentioned this in that interview that he had with Moonbyul. If you
Yeah.
haven't watched that, please. Can he dance? Everyone in Monsta X can dance, period.
Yes. Yes. They're one of the most synchronized groups consistently through the years. He's amazing and he has power while he dances.
Mm-hmm.
He also has like charisma. He can deliver the message of the song through the movements.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10 for me. That's it. No
Same.
notes. No notes.
Rap, I mean,
What can't this man do? Legit.
it sounds like we're being biased, but
No.
Monsta X is one of the groups that we really like, so we have listened to a lot of their songs.
Yep.
And Joohoney writes his own raps
Hmm.
for pretty much all of the songs.
Yeah.
So if you listen to it, to their discography, like you can tell he has really good wordplay, really good flow, and he's just great at
His
it.
delivery is amazing. We did an episode, I think maybe season one, about idol
Awesome.
rappers,
Hmm.
and we covered what makes a good rapper, and he fits every category of that bill. Like, he's just amazing. He's so powerful in his rapping.
Hmm.
Like, he's so captivating, and I don't know. He even if when he does it in English, it's not even his native language, and he still kills.
Right.
Like, come on, it's over. Period. Done.
Hmm.
Yes.
And the last two we can kind of group together at this point.
Yeah.
Producer, songwriter, like 180. Did we not say that
Yeah.
about a million times?
Yeah. The facts speak for themselves.
And he has written songs not just for himself and Monsta X, but for other groups. If I remember correctly, he wrote and produced Gravity's debut single. And it did really well for them. So
Look at that. And with that, I think let's just wrap it up once again and say with our full chests that Juhan from Monsta X is an ace in K-pop.
period.
So, moving on from one amazing ace to another, Let's see why Soyeon from I-DLE deserves to be a part of this list. So Soyeon from G-IDLE, I-DLE, the girls pronounce it the way that they want to pronounce it. It's really hard not to like to ignore that G. I don't want to ignore the G. It's
Me
never good to
neither.
ignore the G, but I guess, for the culture, I-DLE. She was born August 26, 1998. She is known for starring in two reality shows back to back about music production and singing. One is called Produce 101 in season one. She participated in the filming of that show from 2015 to 2016, and she placed 20th in that season. And then right after that, she did on Pretty Rap Star, also in 2016, and she placed third in that show, which was pretty impressive because
Yeah.
there are a lot of really good artists of really high caliber in that season. So she really stamped her mark.
Mhm.
Then she signed with Cube and debuted as a solo artist on November 5th, 2017 with her single Jelly, which she wrote, composed, and arranged by herself, which I want to see how many artists that debut as solo artists in the K-pop world can say that about themselves.
And if you do the math, she wasn't even 20.
I had not even done that math, so
Like-
thank you. Yeah, like the power, the balls, the everything that you have to have just to do that. Like clearly she was born for this. Then she debuted with I-DLE on May 2nd of 2018. Currently, her roles, just to list them all, it's like the rubric of our, criteria for is she an ace. She is a rapper, she's a singer, she's a songwriter, producer, and the leader of the freaking group. Like she not only has the time to do all the things in an amazing way, but she also leads the group and makes sure that everyone else is also doing things in the best way possible. As of now, September again 2023, she has 81 Kumka credits as a composer, arranger, and lyricist, and that's also pretty impressive. It's a short amount of time, and just we know that women in the industry are not listened to, so it's even just more like let's just talk about it. It's a fact. Like women in K-pop industries are told to like fit a certain mold, not have a personality, and just do what they're told and sound really pretty and all the same. And
Right.
she's out here being like, no, I have a voice, I have a point of view, and I'm gonna share it, and it's working. So some notable songs of the part of the repertoire that she has penned for I-DLE that have done amazingly. Senorita, Dumdy Dumdy, Tomboy, literally a cultural reset, took over heavily. Then right out followed by My Bag, which also was a cultural reset and took
100%.
over and was everything. Followed by Nude, which wasn't my cup of tea, but it was a movement and it
Yeah.
it sparked the conversation that she wanted to spark.
Right.
And it's a pretty cool song in itself. And then Queen Card, which, girl, like if you didn't listen to Queen Card in 2023, where were you? Because it was
Okay.
inescapable. The song had like what, eight music show wins or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked the song because I thought it was quirky and cute and whatever, but I really didn't think it was gonna have Korea in a chokehold the way that it did. But I'm glad
Same.
that it did.
Yeah.
Because Soyeon is now going to have all the power to do all the things even more over and over. And she has said in interviews like she does PowerPoint presentations to the company about the concept that she wants to go with, what the song message is, and why they have to give her double the budget that they wanted to give her in the first place. And she's a fucking bad bitch for it. So I literally tip my hat to her. And just like Laura mentioned with Joohon earlier, she also has not only written for herself, but for other people. Notably, she wrote for CLC's hit song No, and she wrote for Key, his Face debut album, solo album, I Wanna Be, which is like, wow, if you wrote for Key, like you have to be so
Iconic.
iconic already, like to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that is why I rest my case. Soyeon is a K-pop ace. Period.
And one thing that I wanted to mention that like I thought was super cool and yeah, it was super cool. She named the song Nude because she said that in Korean when you research or when you look up or Google or whatever they use nude and idol's name, it's kind of like people shouldn't be Googling that.
Right, right.
So it was kind of like a fuck you, look at us in our music video instead of the gross things that you were trying to look at. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
She definitely is taking a stance, and making very clear, powerful messages with all the songs that are coming out. Queen Card also is a huge statement. Like they were made
Yeah.
fun of for twerking with my bag. And literally in Queen Card, it's like there's a lyric about I'm twerking on the runway. And it's a commentary to the Queen Card like culture in South Korea years ago of what the top girl was considered to be. And they're saying kind of like fuck that. Even though, obviously I do think that every girl that is part of Idol is a Queen Card, like fits the mold of being the pretty popular, talented,
Right.
whatever girl. But in a way, like it's just encouraging that they're singing that song and they're giving that message. And there were so many TikToks that were also commenting on the fact that Idol showed up to sing at that soccer uh
Mm.
concert that they had, soccer concert, that concert that they had during that soccer tournament in South Korea. And obviously, because it's a soccer event, there's so many men in the stadium, and all the men that you could hear singing, I'm a Queen Card. And it was just, it is a cultural reset. It's a moment.
Yes.
Like everybody was commenting about the fact that South Korea is a very patriarchal society. So to have men singing I'm a Queen Card is just very iconic. So thank you, Soyeon, for your genius and for making all of that happen.
Mhm.
Now, with that said, even though I said what I said, let's go down the rubric again. Can she sing? Yes. She's a good singer. She raps because that's like her powerhouse, and the rest of the team also has strong singers. So she focuses mostly on the rapping, but she is a good singer. Can she dance? Yes. You can't really
Learn
be in
how to
a.
twerk.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about it. These girls had to learn how to use what their mama gave them, which is not historically much in Asia, and
Mm-mm.
like do a lot with it for the global stage. Like the twerking and like how she opens the song and it's just her in a lot of the videos and the TikToks, and like wow. Like that girl moved and put her entire skeleton into it. Like all of it entirely.
Skeleton.
Her skeleton. Yes. Can she rap? Obviously,
Duh.
yes. From Unpretty Rapster till now, everybody has kind of given the blessing that Soyeon is one of the best rappers. I think, in my personal opinion, Soyeon is the best female rapper currently in K-pop. That's just my opinion, I guess. You can have yours. And she's just a powerhouse when it comes to rapping. So I believe her, which is, I think, the most important thing with
Yeah.
rapping. She writes what she writes, and I believe what she writes.
Right.
So, yeah. And producer and songwriter, again, she has 81 credits. And we have videos on videos on videos on videos on YouTube of how she sits there in the studio producing every single song and every single member, telling them what to do, how to sing it. She when they're not giving what she needs them to give, she
Oof.
goes into the recording booth and is like literally grab like their hands and it's like this is the beat, go with the beat. Like wow, the level of iconicity is just too much. So she is a producer and she is a songwriter. She has written all of their latest comebacks and has done a flawless job in a saturated industry with making
Yeah.
people interested in Idol. So
Right. That's a big deal.
Soyeon, Ace, synonyms, look it up in the dictionary. It's a fact.
Here.
Period. Laura, I'm sorry I didn't let you get a word in, but any other commentary to the rubric that you want to add?
No, no, that's pretty much it. I mean, honestly, she's just talented. She fits everything and there's nothing else you can say. Period. Like nothing.
True.
So, moving on. This is the first ace that we thought about when we kind of came up with the idea for this episode because he's just that talented. Top tier. S class.
Hey, I was waiting for that one.
So let's talk about Han from Stray Kids. So Han was born in 2000, the babiest out of the three or the two that we've talked about. He has been active since 2017. He's a part of Stray Kids, JYPE Division 1. Get it right. He's also part of 3 Racha, which is the producing team for Stray Kids, and that includes Bangchan and Changbin. And part of his credits, notably, include
Hmm.
Collision for lyrics and composing. I need to stop right there because honestly, personally, that's Stray Kids' best song, period. Like,
Well, in the S class album.
For me, it
Ever?
might be it. Yeah. Like I know there's other really good songs, but that one just speaks to my soul
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Okay. I
it's my
fair.
style.
Fair. I'm not
It's
I'm
just
not gonna tell you what your truth is, but I just wanted to clarify. Because that's a strong statement.
you know,
I know
I
that
feel that way.
Collision was it for me from the second that we listened to the album during that like release, because we had
Mhm.
a Twitter Spaces that we did right after the album came out, so we had to listen to the album at the speed of light, and Collision immediately was like captured both of us. So I love the
Yes.
song. I think it's a flawless piece of art. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
But maybe you don't agree with me.
Well, no, I can't go that far of saying it's like Stray Kids' best song yet, because like there's God's Menu and a bunch of other things. So I can't say that. But it's very different styles of songs. So
It is, it is,
it
it
probably
is.
is one of my favorites of like the milder
Yeah, it
genres,
is.
I guess,
Mhm.
that they have.
Also notably, he is credited with writing the lyrics, producing, and composing God's Menu, which is literally the song that kind of blew them up internationally.
Fully.
Um, 2020 wasn't the same after God's Menu came out. It's literally what brought me into Stray Kids. I saw a video on TikTok of Felix doing his little like voice thing, and I was like, but he looks so cute. And then that was the end of me. Period. Like that was it. He was also credited for Winter Falls for the lyrics
Oof.
and composing.
Oof.
And if you know a little bit about Han's music, not so much the music that he makes with Stray Kids or with Three Racha for Stray Kids, but the
Mhm.
music that he makes for himself. It has this like sad emo,
Mhm.
little bit petty vibes.
Nostalgia.
Right. And Winter falls
Mhm.
perfectly with that,
Yes.
with his like songwriting.
Yes.
He has a total of 137 songs in Komka or with Komka, which, if we're doing the math,
And we
2018,
are.
that's 5 years that he has been active as an idol. So let's say he started in 2017, because whatever, for easy math, that is 27 songs.
Yeah, that's
Stray
over 2 songs
Kids
a month.
is super active as a
Very.
group. They have a comeback it feels like every 6 months. And aside from comebacks, they do tours, they do
And not
variety
counting like
shows.
the Japanese comebacks. So it's
Right,
almost like every 3 months, basically.
right. So the fact that he has had the time to do this, it's amazing. I mean, I understand most of it has been under Three Racha with the collaboration of Changbin and Bakchan, but it's still impressive. Like
Super.
he's just 23.
It's crazy, really. No, but that's a really good point to make, because, like, to think of what we were doing at 23, or most people's accomplishments at 23. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to comfort you or me like that. I'm just saying. It's in general, like, a whole 10 years older me. Like, that's wild that he has all those credits. Like, that's official. And yeah, Winter Falls carried me through like winter of 2021. Like, no, I had COVID. It was a terrible time. And when they dropped like that whole album for Christmas, between Christmas Evil and Feliz Navidad, Felix is never bad, whatever, and Winter Falls, and even like 24 to 25, like that fucking whole little mini album was my favorite thing Stray Kids had ever done up until that point.
That's true.
So to know that Han gave us all of those things, like at 21, 22, 23, sir, leave something for the rest of us. Like, God really said he's my favorite, and you're all gonna know.
It's insane. I forgot to mention this with Joohoney, but with Monsta X, Joohoney is my favorite singer, which I know it's a huge statement because Monsta X has Keon as like their main vocalist
Right.
and his voice is like
Everything.
everything. But for me, Joohoney brings this, I don't know, to the songs when he sings.
Yeah.
And Han does that for me in Stray Kids. Like I
Mm.
understand Sungmin has a better voice, like a more
Like he's just
technical or
a
whatever.
vocalist. Yeah.
Right. But Han's voice just it just speaks to me. Like I don't
Yeah.
know how to explain it. Like
Yeah.
I feel what he's singing.
It's just that much more impressive because typically in the regular life, rappers rap because they can't sing, right?
Right.
Especially in the idol world.
Right.
And that's not the case with Han or with anyone on this list for that matter.
Sure.
And it's not just that he can sing, but that he does so beautifully. Like
Right.
he does have that in his voice somehow, what Laura said earlier about how he writes with like sadness and nostalgia and whatever, he carries that in his voice. He
Hmm.
transmits those feelings with his vocals. Like in Spanish, I remember when I grew up and I would watch a lot of like music shows and stuff like that, kind of like I guess if I were living in Korea watching Inkigayo right now. They would talk a lot about, or even like here in Miami when like Sábado Gigante was a
Oh,
thing and El Chacal de la Trompeta
Saba.
or whatever, and judges and things like people would say things like, there is singing and then there is intérprete. And I know it's
Right.
not the same thing in English. Like if I say interpreting, it doesn't really carry as much,
Hmm.
but to interpret the lyrics through your vocals and through your delivery of the song
Right.
is not easy. It's not something that every singer can do. And this guy is doing it while dancing too, on top of it. Like, fuck.
And Stray
It's
Kids choreo is
crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah, na 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 na. Like, hello, my pace can't follow it, sir. Like, it's really hard to explain, but his vocals are truly out of this world.
And I remember in 2021 when they did Kingdom, there was a one of the songs that Stray Kids did. I can't remember what the name of it is right now, but he started belting
Yeah,
and they showed the reactions of all the other groups that were there. And
yeah,
some of them were like, isn't he a rapper?
yeah.
Like, excuse me? And
All the
then one of
vocalists
them,
sound scalped.
right. And then one of them that knows Han was like, yeah, he can do it all.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, word. Like, it was very funny. So, in conclusion, Han is a K-pop ace, period. Like, he can sing, obviously. If you haven't, and I know I just mentioned him earlier, but his episode with Moonjin is so good.
Mm.
He not only sings beautifully, but then he does like a random, not a random, whatchamacallit rap, a freestyle rap
Oh
out
yeah.
of nowhere on like a ballad. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Dancing,
Mhm.
yes.
He's so good. Why is
He's
he
so
so
good.
good?
Like, he's so
Like
good.
it's just like I can picture God taking his time making him,
Yeah.
and being like, I want you to be really good. Like his dancing is just like, I keep thinking of like Charmer in like fan cam stuff and in those moments. Like I don't think he has the chance to stand out that much within Stray
Right.
Kids when you have Hyunjin and Lino and
Yeah.
Felix like Dance Racha, like just everyone, like Christopher Bangtan being a freaking thirst bucket. Like,
Mm.
it's really hard to look at someone else, but
Right.
I think Han is so good. And like those moments where he shines, he's so good. Like his dancing is truly like S tier.
He raps, obviously. He is actually really good at freestyle.
Mm.
He can come up with really good freestyle rap out of nowhere, aside from just writing really good raps.
Yeah, it's
That
because he's so witty.
he
He's
is
so
so witty.
funny and so smart and so witty and so clever. So like when you give him something, he's just like in Spanish we call that chispa, that spark. He has
Yes,
that.
yes.
And like if you're not born with it, you can't get
Mm.
that.
You know what I my Colombian's gonna show. But
Okay.
you know, you know what I thought he'd be so good at, or like if he was Colombian, what he'd do. You know the trovadores, is that what they're called?
When they get on the
The
bus, the ones that get on the bus and like they're like give me a word and then they do your whole life. Like
Yes, 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 with the little guitar. That.
oh my God.
He'd
Yeah,
definitely kill it.
he would kill it. He absolutely would. You're not wrong. You're
He'd go
absolutely
to
not
Sábado Felices and people would be crying, crying,
wrong.
dying like that.
Oh my God.
But anyway.
Funny. Anyway.
Producer, songwriter, 137. Like, that's it. Do I need to
Uh,
say more? No, I don't.
And again, there's plenty of video evidence from Stray Kids recordings where he directs the recording to a T. His production is really professional. Like somehow he can be the funniest guy in the room and also just like give the best advice, the best,
Mhm.
clearest, most concise direction. And you
Yeah.
don't hate him, like, God, please. And then he also has time to like, write a song and just put it out as like a SKZ record, just like out of nowhere and like hit. Are you kidding? Are you freaking kidding? My God.
All while looking good.
All while looking absolutely perfect. His little coca face. I cannot. I can't
You really can't either.
at all. So, yeah. Well, with that out of the way of knowing that Han is the ace that inspired all of this for us, let's go to the last, but definitely not least, because this ace unequivocally deserves to be called an ace more
Mm.
and more as years go by. Let's take a look at Moonbyul from Mamamoo. So Moonbyul was born December 22nd of 1992. So is she the oldest on this list? Yeah, she is.
Yeah. By a
She
lot.
yeah, well, 2 years. She has 2 years with Joohon, so it's not
Okay,
that.
okay, okay, okay.
But yeah. She debuted June 18th, 2014 with Mamamoo as a rapper, songwriter, and composer for the group. She also had her solo debut in May of 2018 with her album Selfish. I don't know if it's called an album, it's probably a single, digital single or whatever, because I think it had like two songs. And then she debuted with Mamamoo Plus, which is her subunit with Solar, in August of 2022. So, notably, just like Laura mentioned with Juhan, Moonbyul originally auditioned to be a vocalist, but changed to become a rapper instead. And it's not because she can't sing, because my girl can
Mm.
belt, my girl can
Yeah.
hold a fucking note, my girl can like knows the pitch. She is an incredible singer.
She
But the
really
thing is
is.
that Solar is an incredible singer, Wien is an incredible singer, Hwasa is an incredible singer, and like somebody needed to carry the team on their backs and rap. And yeah,
Literally.
Kwasa can rap. Like Kwasa arguably could also be an ace if thought of in certain ways. I don't think she produces that much to like get to this level that we're evaluating today. But Moonbyul literally put the team on her back and was like, I'm not only gonna rap and like eat while doing it, but I'm also gonna write in every single fucking song that ever passes through our mouths as like vocalists. And like wow, just wow. So also, I mean, while debuting and very early in their careers, Mamamoo is known to have created a lot of their own choreos because I mean, it's rumored that RBW couldn't really afford a choreographer until a certain point, so like they kind of created some of like their cute little dances. But Moonbyul is credited for choreographing Mr. Ambiguous, which is like their biggest like early song that they have
Yeah.
to this day, and they still do the dance originally. So incredible. Mamamoo also appeared on the show Immortal Songs, for which Moonbyul wrote all the raps that were included in those performances. If you've heard of Immortal Songs recently, ATEEZ just became the group to win the most amount of episodes or something. So it's a pretty big deal right now. Mamamoo is the only other group other than ATEEZ to win as many episodes as they did as a full group, and they appeared more than 14 times on that show. Like they keep getting called back. Solar was on it by herself a year ago or two. So like they're kind of like Solar joke that they're daughters of the show. I think they're Immortal Songs royalty is what they are. And again, Moonbyul wrote all the raps that were done, like specifically catered for that show because they do kind of like dance breaks and different medleys of what they do differently. So Moonbyul did that, is what I have to say. In 2018, when she went solo, was the first time she was credited for the music composition of a Mamamoo song during their blues album. So she's always been credited for writing, but she started getting into the music aspect, I guess, in 2018. And then, as of Mike On, she was credited on both songs for lyrics and music on that album, along with other people, of course. But also, she has written and produced every song for Mamamoo Plus with Solar for the last two albums that they dropped between last year and this year. Can you be any more iconic? Because I don't think you can.
No, you can't.
As of September 2023, Komka has 117 songs listed under her name, Queen, And this is completely unrelated to anything about this episode, but I had to mention it here because it was part of her K profiles and it instantly turned her into my bias wrecker. Her nickname is Black Hole because she tends to sweat a lot, okay? And the thing is that, like, as a sweaty girl, my God, do I feel seen, represented, and like hopeful for my future? Because if Moonbyul can do everything that she does while being a sweaty girl, I can do a little bit more, just a little bit. So I just love that about her. And it's funny because I just saw that they posted the smoke challenge that she and Solar did. And like, let me say before I say this, I mean this with love. I love Moonbyul. I just called her my bias wrecker. So please don't take this the wrong way. But that was the most minimum effort I've ever seen for a challenge video posted to TikTok,
It was so
espe-
good.
especially with the way that the smoke challenge has been a cultural reset for the past 2 weeks and has had every idol in a chokehold. So for Moonbyul to be like, I don't want to sweat for this one, so I'm just gonna do the bare minimum. My fucking
I
queen.
really liked it.
Like, I can't. It was so funny, and she is so funny too. Like that's another
She
one.
is.
I think I wouldn't call Soyeon like funny like a comedy queen, but Han, Joohon, and Moonbyul are the funniest people like in their groups by far, respectively. Like it's crazy. They just like also have that comedy thing, and Moonbyul is so quick and just so funny with like everything, like her delivery, just everything about her. I just freaking love her so much. So anyway, with all of that said, let's go back to back on track. Does Moonbyul fit the K-pop ace bill? Can she sing? Yes. If you have only heard her rap in Mamamoo songs, go listen to her solo work, her album Sequence. I listened to that whole album a lot because I was like, I'm gonna support my queen when it came out, and I actually really like it. I listened to it again today before recording just to like,
Get
bring
in the
back all
mood.
feelings and like, the aroma of it all. So I stand by that album. It was great. And if you don't want to just listen to the album, look up Moonbyul singing and you will find a million clips. She was also on The Masked Singer as the Swan. You cannot go on that show unless you can sing. Period. The end. Sorry for getting heated. Can she dance? Yes.
Yes.
Does she choose not to sometimes for challenges because she doesn't want to sweat? That's a choice that she
It's a
can
choice.
make because as royalty of the aces of this conversation, she has my full permission to not go all out if she doesn't want to. But yes, she can dance very well. She has a great style, very distincting from the rest
Yeah.
of the Mamamoo girls because the rest Mamamoo girls are girly and stuff, and Moonbyul kind of adds the swag that they
A
need.
little rough, but in a good
So
way.
she's just a baddie in like, a what's it called? In a flannel way. I'm gonna say it like that. In a flannel way. She's a baddie. Can she rap? Hell yeah. Like,
Yeah.
and again, it's not because she couldn't sing that they made her the rapper. She can rap. She studied this. She is really good. And I was watching the Mamamoo Killing Voice.
Hmm.
Girl, it's
So
not
good.
just she can rap. She has these riffs and she has these like ad libs and she like Hwasa has the biggest like best breath control that I've ever seen ever in the history of ever. But Moonbyul does it really well too. I think all of them were really very well trained because the way
Yeah.
that Solar and Weehan belt too, like it's
Yeah.
incredible. So, but Moonbyul has just this like subtlety to it just because she's rapping and talking, but you can hear her voice go up and down.
Yeah.
She is talented, man.
Hell
Like
yeah.
talented. So go watch their Killing Voice because it's iconic. Can she produce and songwrite? Again, 117 songs. Komka, we said what we said. The data has spoken. The science has science. The math is actually mathing. And so, with that said, Moonbyul from Mamamoo is a K-pop ace. Period. Whew,
Caso
I got
cerrado.
oh my god, that was the word. Caso cerrado. So now that we covered the current four idols that we consider to be the total package of ASM, we do want to shout out a few idols from earlier gens that definitely were and still are aces. just maybe no longer within the confines of K-pop, but also like within other genres of music and like in the wider acting world as well for Korea.
We're calling this the K-pop ace of yesteryear. So, our first K-pop ace is J Park. He was born in 87. He has been active since 2008. He debuted as the leader of 2PM, but left the group shortly thereafter. He has found great success as a solo artist, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call him, literally everything. He has 358 songs credited under Komka. And before he actually became an idol, he started dancing in 2003 when he joined a b-boy group called Art of Movement.
Mhm.
So J Park might be a little controversial,
Yeah.
but he's talented.
Yeah, like we're kind of we have to separate his controversies and his poor decisions or times that he's misspoken or whatever else PR Julie has had to fix in her
Yeah.
day working for him or even people before. But he does fit the bill, or at least, back when he was an idol, he did fit the bill of doing all the things. When he sings, he has a beautiful R&B voice, or when
Right.
he raps, you believe him with his lines and stuff. His delivery is good. And so, inevitably, just acknowledging his talent does not excuse or condone
Right.
anything else. We're just saying he is an ace. He's
Mhm.
talented and he can do it all.
I know recently he got roasted for doing the Enhypen challenge,
Yeah.
but he's also 35. let's
And
just let's
also,
just bring it
but also
in.
like those challenges, you show up to the place and you have like 10 minutes to learn
Right.
like a 30-second combo, which is like, sure, dancers are used to it, but it's not easy. And all he had was like a bad facial expression while he was like delivering. Like he looked scared. So there's that. He also recently currently is getting roasted for his Tiny Desk Korea performance, because why didn't he have to do the most recent I know I let you got a fat ass like line, So everybody is having a field day with just,
you
calling
know
him
though.
out.
You know though. Only an ace can keep a straight face
I guess,
while singing that.
I guess,
That's a tiny.
I guess. And you know what? I think what wasn't isn't his TikTok name J Park is over party? Like he knows. He knows like the people are not into it, and like he has a lot of people that are just like will never forgive him, and he's still going, somehow, some way. So whatever, he can
He's
do
an
it all
ace.
and is going to keep doing it all for a
Yeah.
little bit longer, I guess. So now that we're done with J Park, let's move on to CL. CL was born in 1991, and she was the leader, main rapper, lead dancer, lead vocalist, and the face of 21. If that isn't the entire rubric, I don't know what is.
Here.
Like, I just don't know what is. Here is like the one thing. She only has 38 Comca credits from what I could find, which some people explained on Twitter that female idols under YG and the Black Label receive less credits in composing and songwriting compared with male idols because producers had the song copyright royalties. And after CL and other artists like Lehigh left YG, they got more credits with Komka. This is what the conversation on Twitter is saying. I wasn't around at the time, so I know that there's a lot of things that we sometimes miss and can't really comment on for a fact. So I won't say this is that, but it does make sense that during those years she didn't get as many credits, but now she, the baddest female is the baddest female, doesn't matter how many credits she has with Komka, because
Period.
CL is CL. After the group was disbanded against their will or knowledge in 2016, CL went on to become a household name, even being tapped by Beyonce to model for Ivy Park, which was a huge deal. CL speaks and writes for her music in Korean, English, and French.
Oh.
Hello. Like the batting is batting out of her. I literally wrote the baddest of all bad bitches and bad bitch dumb to bad bitch. Yes, I said what I said. So ace,
Die
period.
on that hill.
I will. Absolutely. Bury me.
And then finally, of the K-pop aces of yesteryear that we wanted to highlight is Ok Taecyeon. I I know his name is pronounced that way, but I just like calling him OK Taecyeon. He, Taecyeon was born in 1988 and has been active since 2008 when he debuted in with 2PM. Not only has he found success as a K-pop idol who is still active, but also as an actor. And as of September 2023, he has 58 songs credited to him.
Nice.
So he can dance and do little piruetas. I
Yeah.
don't know how to say that in English.
Acrobatics.
Thank you.
I got you.
He can rap. I believe him. He can sing. And what was the fifth? I forget. Oh, and he can
Songwriting and
produce
producing.
and write music.
Yeah.
And he can act really well,
Yeah. He's
all
a
while
really good
looking
actor.
delicious.
Yeah, yeah. Now he can act really well. We're not going to talk about the dream high days. We're going to talk about now.
Right.
But
But everyone grows.
no, right. Everybody has to start somewhere, and he
Right.
started there.
Everyone has a
Uh,
dream high.
yeah, they do. But yeah, it's 2PM just is having their 15th debut anniversary
Mm,
concerts and things going on right now. So that is admirable and huge on K-pop, considering groups typically
lots.
break around the 7-year mark. So
Right.
they lost a leader. They all went through military enlistment. They're starting to get married and having
Yeah.
those like apology for getting married controversies, and they're still
At
going
like
strong.
37. Like,
Their biological clocks are ticking, and they're still having to apologize to the fans for finding love and settling
jeez.
down with someone that they've probably been with for like 12 years. They just couldn't say it
Right.
before.
It's so ridiculous.
But yeah, but Tech is great. And he's also, he speaks English. He just got picked up by an American agency in the past year or so.
Yeah.
So he's probably gonna get picked up with like my more roles like Netflix. He had a little cameo in the EXO Kitty
Excellent.
series. So yeah, like I don't believe his rapping personally, but I still think he's, ace worthy because of everything else that he does.
I might be
We can be
biased
split
though.
on that. And this
I
is
might be
we're getting to the
biased.
section where we're gonna get very split. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
fine.
Oh yeah.
So now, as promised at the beginning of the episode, we have reached the honorable mention section. So if you wanted to kill us for not including certain people in the list as aces, maybe just maybe they might have made the cut here. And then if they really didn't make the cut here, you can yell at us later. So now coming up, these are the idols who don't fully meet all 5 of the criteria that we set out with, but we still think that they deserve to be mentioned here for their hard work and prowess. And maybe they have like 4 out of the 5 things, and then they make up for the missing fifth thing with like a sixth thing that no one else has. So, that's why kind of they're included here, maybe, or I don't know. We'll see. It's debatable and lots of debates coming up. So put on your seatbelt because we're going to disagree a lot coming up. Maybe.
Maybe. So to begin, Yunjin from Le Seraphim. She is the main vocalist for Le Seraphim. She was
Mhm,
born in 2001. She's also a songwriter.
mhm.
So when we talk about K-pop aces, she can obviously sing. She was an opera singer for a while. Like
Yeah.
her voice is gorgeous, like
Yeah.
period, because it's not easy to be able to do both opera and K-pop. It's like Kaswa going from ballet to K-pop. You can kind of tell sometimes that some
Yeah.
of the moves, it's not that she doesn't believe in it, it's just her body has been trained a different way. So
A
they
muscle memory.
don't Right. So they don't look as like hip or slick as like the other members. So for someone to be able to go from opera to K-pop to pop is a pretty big deal.
It
I
is.
have a friend who studied classical music for a little bit, and she has a gorgeous voice, but when she sings pop, I don't really believe it. It's
I get,
beautiful. It's just
yeah.
there's something missing there.
Yeah.
So with dancing, of course you can dance. Like,
Yeah.
have you guys seen her? I am a
Yeah.
little bit biased because I love her, but also I know for a fact that she can dance. So,
Yeah.
period.
It's true.
She cannot rap.
Well, maybe she can learn it in the future.
Though, I looked up on YouTube
Yeah.
Yunjin rapping.
Yeah.
People were saying like Queen rapping, whatever, and I was like, no,
In
this
English or in
is
Korean?
in Korean. It was.
Maybe I feel like she could pull off like a Nicki Minaj verse in English or something
Oh,
because
okay,
she
okay,
is an
okay.
American queen.
Okay, I believe
So
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the rap is not there yet. But again, this is one of those where like, yeah, okay, so she cannot rap, but she can sing opera. Who else can say that in K-pop? Very little people,
Right.
like Onu, basically. So so even though she can't do all five just yet, she still definitely fits the rest of the stuff, and she has one more to add than other people.
Right, and she plays instruments too, so.
hmm That's a seventh one. There you go.
Right. She can produce and song, right? I don't know if that's good English, but whatever. She actually has 13 songs in Komka, and she recently came out with a couple songs just under her name,
Yeah.
and they're really nice.
Yeah.
There's one that's called I'm Not Doll, or it's I not equal sign doll. I'm sorry, I'm not cool enough to know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, I think that's her third song that she's dropped on her own, which I think is really admirable. Le Seraphim has only been out for just over a year,
Yeah.
and she started dropping solo music right away. She performed at Weavers Con by herself while the other members
So
were like
cute.
cheering for her with posters, and it was really cute. So that takes gall, and it shows that she was made for this and she's hungry for making music. So
Right.
super admirable.
So, is she a K-pop ace, Kathy?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Me too.
Yeah.
She's perfect.
Yeah. Agreed.
Not biased at all.
Not at all.
Zero.
Yeah.
Our next honorable mention, and this is where it's going to get spicy. Or hot sauce. So here it is. Mark Lee from NCT. We have this theory that if you don't like Mark, there's something wrong with you.
You're a
That is
sociopath.
100% a red flag.
Can't be
And
trusted.
no, we can't be your friend, period. Everyone loves Mark Lee. Now, is Mark Lee a K-pop ace? Before we move, who is Mark Lee? Mark Lee is a rapper for NCT and the 20 million subunits that they have. He was born in 1999 and he's Canadian. So he does a lot of the English content for NCT along with Joohoney, who is also an English speaker and American. Does Mark fit the K-pop ace bill? Can he sing? Personally, I think he can carry a tune. I wouldn't call him a singer or that he could sing. Like I wouldn't listen to a song where he just sings, but he can carry a tune. It's okay.
Sure.
Meh.
I will agree. Okay, sure. Fine.
Can he dance? 100% yes.
He
Like
impresses
he's
me every time. Like he's so
great.
cute to me and he's so adorable and like I love him so much that when I see him dancing and him being so good at it, I'm like, damn, Mark Lee can fucking dance. And like it's a refreshing experience every time.
And he has his own swag when he dances. He's not
Yeah.
copying people and
No.
like he just has his own style, which is really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Agreed.
Can he rap? I personally think that he can. Are his raps my cup of tea all the time? No, but neither are IM's, and I think he can rap too. So,
I don't think that's a line of comparison, but for me, I just don't believe Mark as a rapper. I think Mark is a lot of things. I think Mark is wonderful on stage. I don't buy the raps. So that's a no for me, dog.
can he produce? Yes. And can he write songs? Yes. He has 74 songs in Komka. Like, again, his raps might not be everyone's cup of tea, but he does write them.
Props to him. So, yeah, with that said, I think the result is he doesn't fully fit the bill, but he's an ace in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where we both we can come to an agreement somehow, some way.
100%.
Yeah.
He will always be our third host.
Yes.
Always and forever.
Yes. April Fool's joke. Look it up if you don't see it or if you weren't here for that era of ours.
Oh, we have eras now?
We do.
Oh, girl. All right. Starting off season 4, right? Moving on to Woozi from 17. I need to preface this with I am extremely biased here. I cannot be trusted because I love him.
But I can be, so it's fine. I will be the voice of reason here. It's okay, guys. You can trust me.
So he's a member of 17, like we said. He was born in 96, and he's perfect. Like, that's it.
Okay, let's give a little bit more facts to the children.
Oh, he's so cute.
So Woozi is a member of the vocal line of 17 and the leader of the vocal line of 17. So he is extremely proficient in what he does. And he is also credited for like a million, bajillion, drazillion songs. Like when we went to see it wasn't Face the Sun, whatever the movie was last year that we went in April,
I forget.
whatever the 17 movie that was came out in April of 2022. That's when I jumped on like the carrot bus wagon, whatever the fuck I jumped on. At the end of the movie, they had like the song credits, and like every single song was like Woozi and Boomju, like every single
Period.
fucking song. And I was like, well, damn, it's like that. And yes, it is like that. So Woozi might be a short king who doesn't fit the bill of a typical idol physically, but without him, 17 is nothing. And
Literally.
again, I am saying this as not a Woozy bias person. He's not in my bias line. But if you can't acknowledge that much, then you are blind in the face.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just the fact.
Yeah.
So yeah, singing, he has a
Yes.
beautiful voice. Absolutely stunning, beautiful voice. I want it like inside me via IV, like every time. Also, I love that he always sings with a mic in his hand instead of having the ear
Mm.
mic because he's just a bad bitch. And like
He
that's a bad bitch
is.
move every time. Cause I just
I
he
love
can that's the
him.
only way you can actually control. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's just like whenever you see in K-pop like the handheld mic versus the head mic, you just know it's gonna hit different. Like
It's
you
so
just
true.
know.
It's so true.
So yeah, dancing, he is a dancing king. He
He
is
really
so
is.
so good at dancing, especially for like his height and build. Mostly build, not the height. But
He's like
especially now
a
that
little
he's getting,
refrigerator.
bulky,
Mm-hmm.
he's in bulking season. It's surprising how prettily he can
Right.
dance despite his muscles.
He could have actually been part of the performance team, but
Mm,
he chose to go into the vocal team because 17 has some of the greatest performers.
yeah,
So he just went in the vocal team because,
yeah. Vocal
he
team
can.
needed leaders. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, he was the only one that was gonna keep those other four like in line.
That's true. So when it comes to rapping, it's kind of like a little bit of a gray area here. I love him, but can he rap? That's the question. I know that he writes with Bumju like most of the raps for
Mm,
17, so I know he can write raps,
yeah.
but can he rap?
I mean, if I think about it very hard, Cheers was a good display of rapping from him.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Despite, because
Okay.
obviously, he has the singing moments, but like, it's the big dick energy for me for like the rapping,
Yes.
and he, stood his ground next to S-Coups and Hoshi. Like, all three of them did pretty well in that song. That song does not really have
That's true.
vocal undertone to it. So
Mm.
I will say based on that song, he can because he has swag. Is he a rapper? No. But, he can pull out the big dick energy if needed. So yeah.
I, I I think he could have been kind of like Moonbyul. If he had wanted to go that route, he could have,
Right. Or
but
if
he
he has
just chose not
to.
to, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, if you don't train in that much, like, and it
Yeah.
doesn't look like 17 trained that much in rapping anyway,
No.
it's not going to come out and it's not going to become a forte. Like his fortes are everywhere else.
Right. Can he produce and can he write songs? 100%. Like Kathy said, literally 17 wouldn't be 17 without him. He has 150 songs in Komka. Like he is 17 musically.
Yeah.
Like period.
Yeah.
And to me, it's insane because if you look at 17's discography, yes, it does have a distinct kind of like rocky vibe
Mm,
for the most part, but he has been able to serve very many different genres
mhm.
with still keeping kind of like 17's like undertone. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to explain that.
No, I
But
think you made sense.
and all of the songs in all of the genres haven't felt like, oh, what are they doing now? It's been like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. This is 17, but
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So that to me is impressive.
Yeah. So with all of that said, and a very biased person, and I don't think I'm biased at all, and I'm being very objective here. He doesn't fully 100% fit the rubric because again, the rapping thing is kind of like debatable, but there's no doubt that he's an ace because like his producing chops and everything else just take him over the line for everything. Like what he's done for 17 musically, again, he carries the group in that sense. So he's an ace. He's their ace.
And the king of my heart. So
Yeah.
there's that too.
Sure. That's definitely not in the rubric, but okay. Sure.
And then finally, we wanted to mention Chanyeol
Not we.
from
Not we.
I wanted
Immediately
to
not
mention.
we. Okay. Thank you.
I wanted to mention Chanyeol from EXO. He was born in 92. He is considered a rapper within EXO. I personally think, okay, no, before any personalities, whatever, let's go through our categories. Can he sing? Personally, I think he can. He's not going to belt out, but he can sing,
Listen,
I think.
Laura and I had this conversation in person and I was like, you know what? Fine. I haven't really like given him a lot of chances and like listening to his singing, but I did the research. I looked up a lot of Chanyeol singing videos and guess what I found? The man is barely okay holding a tune. He cannot sing. I'm
I
sorry
like
to every
him.
EXO. I love Park Chanyeol. Like I love him.
No,
I
I
love
like
his
his
ears
singing.
and I know, but I'm saying before EXOs come for me. I like him a lot. Like I think he's great, but I don't think he can sing, especially when you're standing next to fucking EXO's vocal line.
That's
He has
different
no,
though.
no, no, no.
You can't
Because
compare them.
how can I not compare? They're in the same group.
I mean, I get it, but at
And
the
it's not
same
even
time,
about
he can
comparing. I'm just
sing.
saying, I cannot say like me with my criteria of like very America's Next Top Model. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. I stand for the fact that Park Chan-yeol cannot sing. He can maybe carry a little bit of a tune. He doesn't have like a bad pitch. He's not a singer. He can't sing. No, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm
I
dying on
think he
that
can
hill.
sing.
Mm-mm.
Dance. I think we both agree that he can.
Yes, wonderful dancer. Sexy, very tall,
Delicious. I
very
was
sexy,
literally just going to say that.
very,
And
very
from what I
sexy.
understand, as a non dancer, people have told me, TikTok has told me, that the taller you are, the harder it is to look graceful.
Yeah,
And he looks it.
he
So,
looks amazing. Yeah, agreed.
can he rap? Again, his raps are not always my cup of tea, but I think he can rap.
I just don't believe him as a rapper. So for me, he's a no. And I know again, a lot of EXOs are obsessed with his rapping and like best rap line or whatever. That's fine. Crucify me. I don't consider him a rapper. No, it's a no for me.
Can he produce and songwrite? Yes. He has 40 songs on Comcat, which is towards the lower end from what we've been talking,
Mm,
but I think he can. He can play instruments, he has written
yes.
songs, he has produced music. Like,
I was gonna make a joke that like when he sings while playing the guitar is like playing the guitar doesn't allow him to even sing that well because he's more focused on the guitar than the singing. But I'll give him the fact that, singing and playing an instrument is not easy. So sure.
in conclusion, only one half of us believes that he's an ace.
I said what I said.
You can kind of guess who's who.
You don't need to, but okay, sure. You want to play games? I'll be coy. I'll pretend. I'll jump around.
And
Yeah.
then before we finish, even though we said finally, last but not least, with Chanyeol, someone that we thought of or kind of mildly discussed before we started recording, and I think that we should highlight because she's so talented, is Youngji. She's an ace.
Yeah.
Not a K-pop ace, but she's an ace.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, she won High School Rapper 3. She won Show Me the Money 11. She can rap and out rap literally 75% of South Korea rapper
Everyone.
men. Like, and I'm talking about the men specifically because they
Yeah.
think that they're hot shit, and especially everyone on
No.
Show Me the Money. Like, girl, the sexism in the industry. Youngji could literally have all of you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but she won't because she's a fucking queen.
Mm,
And her comedy chops, my God, like her
perfect.
show, Nothing Much Prepared, My Alcohol Diary, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is one of the best Korean television works of art that has ever come out of anywhere. And it really goes to show that you don't need all of this expensive like equipment and a set and all these things. This is just her freaking apartment in Korea. And yes, she does have probably like 55 producers inside her apartment on the other side of the camera, but other than the cameraman, she is just her with being herself, and
Mm.
she is so funny. So she has that, and she writes her music, she produces music. She, what can't she do? Like, she
She
dances
can
really
dance
well.
as well. Yeah.
And then and like she pretends to like, go the funny way so she doesn't
Right.
like put in all the effort, but she knows every choreo, she hits every beat. Like,
Mm,
if she wanted to be an idol, I don't know if they would have let her because I guess she doesn't fit the visual mold, but like she could fucking kill if
yeah.
she wants to. That's the thing with her. Like, she's the most deadly ace because she's just not killing you all because she's like letting you live. It's like
Yeah.
that the whole thing of like models should thank, I don't know, Jin from BTS for choosing to be an idol instead of a
Mm,
model because they would have all been out of a job. Everyone should thank Youngji for not being an idol and not putting you
yeah.
all to freaking shame.
100%. I guess the moment that I noticed that she could dance really well was when she was in a video with, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, Chaeyeon,
Oh yeah, yeah,
Chaeyeon's
yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
And I personally think Chaeyeon can dance so well.
She's an incredible dancer.
She has so much like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
attitude, like bad bitch attitude. And
Every
she
comeback, I'm
danced
afraid for whomever has to do the challenges with her because they can't live up to it.
100%.
Other than Dino.
One,
Dino is,
yes.
well, Dino and Xiaojun from Wavy. Yes.
Yes.
Those are the
That's
only
it.
ones that can live up to
That's
it.
it.
Everybody else, I'm sorry, not doing it.
No, no, no. And she danced with her and she looked great. Like
Yeah.
I actually wasn't even looking at Jaeyeon. Like I was looking at Yeonji.
Yeah.
So she can obviously dance really well. I personally think she has a really interesting voice. I like her voice. She has done a couple of songs with Sungkwan, and I
Mm,
believe it. She doesn't sound ridiculous. And to
yeah.
not sound ridiculous next to Sungkwan,
Yeah.
you have to be good.
Yeah.
Like,
She has a very, 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 very specific voice and tone
yes.
that is, raspy and like it's not girly at all. So of course it wouldn't fit the K-pop mold,
Right.
but she still can sing. And
Hmm.
yeah, they did that Bruno Mars cover. That
Yeah.
was really, really good. And when she dropped I'm Sorry during Show Me the Money, like she actually does a lot of like little riffs in there. So
Mm.
yeah, she does know how to control her voice, even though she's not primarily a singer. She's obviously primarily a rapper, but she can sing.
She really can.
Mm.
So she's a K-pop. Well, she's just an ace.
She's an ace. Yeah.
And K-pop is lucky
Yeah.
that she didn't decide to be a K-pop idol. And that's it.
Hmm. With
That's
that,
it.
our tension has dropped and we're not and we're done, but we're really excited to be back for season 4. Please look forward to everything that we're bringing to you guys this season. Keep sending us suggestions for episodes. Let us know what you thought about our Spanish episode. Let us know if you want more Spanish content from us. And yeah.
We actually opened up a store a couple of
Mhm.
weeks ago.
It's at MIA, the number 2, K pop shop on Instagram. You can get the link from there and go visit our store. Laura has worked super hard on the designs. You guys know that I'm not a designer in this group. She's currently wearing one of our signature shirts. It's the Miami Hangul shirt, and she has the crop tee version. So we have crop tops and full length t shirt lengths for you guys to pick from. We have some limited run items, and so buy them now because you don't know if they're going to be at the shop next time you go visit. And please support. This is basically like our main venture right now with trying to make the podcast sustainable for us. So, we put a lot of work into creating content and stuff for you guys. So we hope that you find this a suitable way of saying, yes, we support you guys. So yeah, enjoy. taking a look at the shop and buy gifts for, yourself and your family. Start Christmas shopping a little bit early. We have a Halloween zombie tee, that is perfect for October, and it's subtle. And yeah, the mantra of our merch is that it's subtle K-pop nods, or with the Hangul shirts, like just nods to Korea and Korean culture.
And also, if you want another way to support us, we recently opened up our own coffee, KOFI page. So if you like what we do, you can buy us a coffee and
Yeah.
support us in that way too.
And we're Colombian, so coffee is part of the equation every time.
I can't survive without it. Like, I really can't. I wish I could, but I can't. It's
I
problematic.
I need a lot of milk, but I still like it. So that's besides the point. So anyway, yeah, we have had a blast with returning to you guys now for season 4. We will be coming back with episodes hopefully every week. We will keep you posted on that posting schedule. Definitely follow us on our social media channels, primarily on Instagram at MIA, the number 2K podcast, for all the latest news and updates in case we don't have an episode on a specific week for some reason, travel or whatever. So yeah, just that's all. Officially now, for real.
Season
Bye.
4. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the MIA2K podcast. We have lots of great content coming up ahead, so please don't forget to follow and subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you enjoyed our episodes, please rate us 5 stars.
And for the real-time tea, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook by searching for @MIA2K Podcast. Dale. Bye.